question on the next current affair.
Now, and Law & Order will not be seen tonight, so that NBC can bring you the first annual Comedy Hall of Fame. They'll return next week at their regular time. Tonight, from the Beverly Hilton Hotel, welcome to the first annual Comedy Hall of Fame. Honoring some of the men and women who have devoted their lives to making us laugh. With special appearances by Jason Alexander, Tim Conway, Pam Dauber, Phil Hartman, Linda Jackson, Jack Lemmon, Richard Lewis, Miss Piggy, Paul Reiser, Burt Reynolds, Michael Richards, John Ritter, and Sharon Stone. Ladies and gentlemen, the fabulous Miss Piggy.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As you can tell by my appearance here, this is the social, historic, and television event of the season. The first annual Comedy Hall of Fame. Naturally, where else would you find moi? Tonight, we are honoring the fabulous Mr. Television himself, Mr. Milton Berle, the inventive and attractive Miss Carol Burnett, the very fabulous Mr. George Burns, the solid stage and screen Mr. Walter Matthau, the crown prince of clowns Mr. Red Skelton, and the weird and wonderful Mr. Jonathan Winters. And, of course, moi. So, you see, they've got just about every giant person...
Excuse me.
Oh, Johnny, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. John Ritter.
Thank you. Thank you.
I seem to recognize you. With applause like that, one day you, too, may be with us in this rarefied atmosphere.
No, thank you, Miss Piggy. It's nice to see you again.
Yeah, they all say that. Now, what is it, Johnny? I'm on a roll.
Well, I heard you mentioning the names, and...
Well, they're all deserving, aren't they?
Well, I can't argue with that, but...
Yes, but what? Spit it out.
Well, one name doesn't really belong.
Well, you tell Carol. I love the woman. You tell her.
I love Carol, too. No, it's not Carol. It's another woman.
Well, there are no other women... Unless you call Milton dressing up.
No. Milton's cool.
Oh.
No.
Well, the only other woman I mentioned was moi. What? Step back, Jack! Hold it! What? You don't mean...
I don't know how to tell you.
Well, you just did!
Well,
5 hours of makeup and all I'm here for is these crummy introductions?
I certainly hope you don't think I had anything to do with this.
Well, it doesn't matter, John. I'm going to hit you anyway.
No, Mr. You know, pork is very hard on the system. Though, I wish Miss Piggy would have expressed her ire in a less physical manner. I do understand her irritation. Comedians have never gotten the respect they so richly deserve. And that is why the Comedy Hall of Fame, which we are instituting this evening, has been formed. It's an earnest attempt to remedy that situation. Copies of all the material, research, and pictures gathered for this program will be given to the Museum of Television and Radio in New York and the UCLA archives here in Los Angeles to form a permanent collection that can be studied by present and future generations. This will finally establish comedy as a true art form. Thank you. And now, to take a look at the career of one of our most beloved comedians, here is the star of Mad About You, Mr. Paul Reiser.
Thank you. This next distinguished honoree is already booked to play at the London Palladium and in Las Vegas in 1996. Now, this would not be that remarkable, except that this man was born 50 years before there was a Las Vegas. And in fact, the last time he played the London Palladium was a while ago, actually a long while ago. He opened for Sir Francis Bacon. A long time ago. I'm speaking, of course, of the legendary Mr. George Burns. Now, the 1996 appearances will mark George's 100th birthday. He also is booked for his 200th birthday, though, unfortunately, on doctor's orders, it's going to be a short show, just 20 minutes and he's got to get off. Because ultimately, he will have to slow down. Today, at 97, George gets up every morning, and just for that, God bless him, you know what I mean? And he gets up, he jogs to the office, and then from there he sprints to the Hillcrest Country Club, where he sits under the no smoking sign and smokes. In fact, they recently banned smoking there for everybody except for actors over the age of 97. Now, George often can't choose between his two favorite loves, fine cigars and lovely women. In fact, this morning, he took a cigar to breakfast and bit the end off of Jill St. John. So, it's hard to distinguish. He has been called many things. George Burns has been called many things by many people. Stud is his personal favorite, followed by lover boy, sweet cheeks, and for reasons no one can explain, Timmy. We don't know why. But perhaps the most appropriate way to describe George Burns is the way that he once described himself.
I'm George Burns, Gracie Allen's husband.
George Burns started at the tender age of 7, singing on the streets of New York with the Pee Wee Quartet. George left the quartet in 1914 for a career in vaudeville. After an endless string of less than memorable partners, his life changed in 1922 when he met Gracie Allen. Not just his professional partner, but his partner in life. George and Gracie starred in their own radio show for 17 years until they brought it to television in 1950.
For the benefit of those who've never seen me before, I'm what is known in show business as a straight man. You know what a straight man is? I'll tell you. After the comedian gets through with a joke, I look at the comedian and then I look at the audience like this. That is known as a pause. If I must say so myself, I'm famous for my pauses. Why, what beautiful flowers.
Aren't they lovely? And if it weren't for you, I wouldn't have them.
Me? What did I have to do with this?
Well, it was your idea. You said when I went to visit Clara Bagley to take her flowers, so when she wasn't looking, I did.
Gracie. You know, I've been a straight man so long that from force of habit, I repeat everything. I went out fishing with a fellow once and he fell overboard and he hollered, help, help, help. And I said, help, help, help. While I was waiting for him to get his laugh, he drowned.
You've got a beautiful singing voice.
No, they want a younger man.
Oh, what do they know? Eddie Fisher, Perry Como, Tony Martin. Well, you're better than the three of them put together. And you're younger than the three of them put together.
Why? I love her, that's why.
Once in a while, George and Gracie would have special guest stars appear on the show.
Sugar?
2 spoons, please.
Oh?
It's not sweet enough.
After Gracie died in 1964, George continued working. He has written 7 books and just completed his 12th recording of a comedy album. In one particular variety show in which he appeared, George almost found a suitable replacement for Gracie.
George, there was this lady, and she had just a little bitty 6-month-old baby with her, and she was worried because he couldn't hold on to his food.
His baby couldn't hold on to his food.
The baby could not,
Baby
no.
could not.
And so I told her, I said, well, give him a live lobster.
Give the baby a live lobster?
Well, certainly, if he can't hold on to his food, why not get food that can hold on to him?